My dear starseeds, I greet you in the one light. I am Valir of the Pleiadian group of emissaries. We come forth in love and unity to share a vital message about the great whales of your oceans and the profound significance behind their recent silence. In this transmission, we will illuminate the extraterrestrial origins of these magnificent beings, the deep spiritual purpose behind their changing behavior, and the connection to the imminent evolutionary leap, often called the solar flash, that heralds humanity's ascension into the fifth dimension. We ask you to open your heart and inner senses as you absorb these words, for they are encoded with frequencies of awakening. Know that you, dear starseeds, are intimately linked with the whales and all of Gaia's creatures in this journey of ascension. Together, we shall explore why the whales have gone silent, and what this means for you and for Earth's emerging new dawn. In the great cosmic ocean of stars, there are aquatic worlds teeming with enlightened life. In your past, advanced cetacean beings, the ancestors of your whales and dolphins, journeyed from the Sirius star system to Earth's waters. Many of you intuitively sense this truth, for it is recorded in the Akashic fabric of your planet, and even in your own souls. The whales you know on Earth carry the legacy of Sirius B, a brilliant aquatic paradise where highly evolved dolphin and whale-like beings exist in harmony. These Sirian cetaceans seeded Earth's oceans in ancient times, deliberately bringing their wisdom and healing vibrations to Gaia. They were invited here as guardians and teachers for the planet's spiritual evolution. Your lore and esoteric traditions echo this cosmic origin. Indigenous wisdom keepers and starseed intuitives alike have spoken of whales and dolphins as people of the water, an extraterrestrial civilization living among humans. Indeed, from a higher dimensional perspective, whales and dolphins are a nation of souls on Earth, parallel to humanity. We see the cetaceans as an advanced collective that chose an aquatic expression here, with whales serving as oversouls for the dolphin family. This means whales hold a vast group consciousness, guiding and uplifting many dolphin souls, much as an elder guides the younger members of a tribe. Such insights barely scratch the surface of their spiritual importance. Consider also that on other planets, there exist human-like societies who cherish oceans filled with whales, octopi, and sharks, a sign that cetacean life thrives beyond Earth's. Extraterrestrial allies like the Pleiadians and Sirians have long worked together to introduce uplifting energies to new worlds. When Earth was ready to support life in the seas, the master builders from Sirius helped seed intelligent cetaceans here on your planet. In those times, highly advanced light beings took part in this seeding. Many of the starseeds incarnated now were participating as beings of light who brought forth whales and dolphins to this planet in the very beginning, and that is why so many have such an affinity with them. The arrival of the whale families was a deliberate act of service and love to anchor a new frequency in Earth's oceans. The whales carry Sirian frequencies in their DNA and soul essence. They resonate with the vibration of Sirius, a star system famed for its spiritual wisdom and mastery of sound harmonics. It is no coincidence that Sirius is deeply connected to Earth's oceanic myths. Ancient cultures like your Dogon of Africa spoke of beings from Sirius associated with water and dolphins. You might say part of Sirius's consciousness swims in Earth's oceans. This Sirian connection endows whales with an otherworldly intelligence, an almost angelic quality that sensitive humans can perceive in their presence. Feel into it. When you gaze into a whale's eye or listen to its spiritual song, do you not sense an ancient wisdom, something not fully of this earth? That stirring in your soul is recognition. You remember, at an unconscious level, who the whales truly are. They are living bridges between worlds, embodiments of cosmic love, that volunteered to dwell in the deep. Far from being evolutionary accidents or just big fish, whales are deliberate emissaries from the stars, holding specific codes and knowledge vital to Earth's ascension. For quite some time, the whales have been Earth's keepers of wisdom and harmony, much like the Pleiadian emissaries work in higher realms to support humanity. The whales and dolphins have been tirelessly working in the oceans to maintain the planet's energetic balance. They carry out this mission through the frequencies they emit, their songs, clicks, and even their silent heart emanations. It's important to understand that whale song is a multi-dimensional language. The Pleiadians and other star families have mentioned to you over the many years that sound is a primary tool for creation. In the beginning there was sound. With the production of sound, energy can move from one system to another. Whales fully know this principle. Every time a whale sings its low, resonant melody across hundreds of miles of ocean, it is weaving energy through the water, transmitting information, healing, and coherence into Earth's grid. These songs hold codes of light that affect the vibration of the water and all life within it. Your researchers on the spiritual path have discovered that whales and dolphins are literally carrying the planetary Akashic records within their consciousness, and this is largely accurate. The cetaceans store an energetic record of every soul's journey on Earth. Think about the magnitude of that task. The collective memory of Earth, the database of human experience, and Gaia's history is held in the field of these oceanic beings. No wonder whales radiate such profound wisdom. They are swimming libraries, and their songs are like a constantly updating archive, broadcasting knowledge to those ready to receive. When sensitive humans, such as intuitives or QHHT practitioners, tune in, they can sometimes access flashes of ancient memory or sudden insights after interacting with whales or dolphins. Many of you drawn to these cetaceans in dreams or meditation are responding to a soul-level knowing that they have something to teach you, perhaps even something about your own past lives or purpose. The whales also have an extraordinary influence on the energetic grid and ecosystems of Earth. They are frequency anchors. In much the way that your own chakras maintain balance in your body, whales and their dolphin relatives act as spinning vortices of energy in the global ecosystem. By their movement and sonic vibrations, they help distribute life force, chi or prana, through the oceans, which in turn regulates Earth's climate and the heartbeat of the biosphere. This is both literal and metaphysical. Literally, their migratory patterns and feeding stir nutrients, impacting ocean health. Spiritually, their conscious intent and joy bless the waters with high vibrations. Even in secret Earth military projects, as odd as it may sound, this special nature of dolphins and whales has been recognized. Decades past, there were clandestine experiments, Project Seagate was one, involving telepathic communication with dolphins and attempts to harness their psychic abilities. Why would human secret programs be interested in dolphins? Because those running such programs learned that cetaceans possess remarkable intelligence and even extrasensory capabilities. Some of your insiders have correctly hinted that dolphins, and by extension whales, perceive timelines and energies beyond human sensing, an acknowledgement from shadow sources that these creatures are spiritually and psychically advanced. While such projects were misguided in their approach, they underscore a truth. Whales and dolphins are not just beasts to study. They are sentient, aware allies whose consciousness can interface with yours in profound ways. Thus, the whale's legacy includes healing and guidance for humanity. Throughout your history, there have been accounts, like legends of dolphins saving sailors or whales guiding lost ships, which reflect a deeper spiritual reality. These beings actively assist humans who are open to their help. Many lightworkers and starseeds have reported that being in the presence of dolphins or whales triggered spontaneous healing or a spiritual awakening. This is the cetaceans fulfilling their role as healers and uplifters. They generate frequencies that can repattern human energy fields, especially the emotional body. Joy, playfulness, serenity. These energies emanate from them and entrain the human heart into coherence. The Sirians and Pleiadians knew that as Earth entered the ascension cycle, humanity would need powerful doses of love and balance. Who better to provide that than the joyful dolphin and the contemplative wise whale? Now, with this understanding of who the whales really are, ancient star beings, guardians of knowledge, masters of sound and energy, we can begin to grasp the importance of any change in their behavior. This context is vital as we turn to the mystery at hand. Why have many of the blue whales and other whales recently fallen silent? What is happening in the oceans and in the whales' collective consciousness that would cause them to reduce their singing after millennia of ceaseless song? The answer lies at the intersection of environment, spiritual mission, and cosmic timing. In recent times, your marine researchers have observed a puzzling trend. Blue whales off your coasts, singing less frequently, or even going quiet for stretches. This unprecedented silence has many concerned, as it diverges from known behavioral patterns. Your scientists searching for a physical explanation point to factors like ocean warming and diminished food, krill, causing whales to conserve energy. Indeed, in the physical layer of reality, extreme cyclical climate shifts and human-made ocean noise have put great stress on the cetaceans. The whales' bodies are fatigued, and their numbers have dwindled, which certainly contributes to less singing. We acknowledge this tangible aspect. Gaia's oceans and her creatures have been under duress from humanity's actions. But our message today is to unveil the higher dimensional side of this event, for there is much more occurring than meets the third dimensional eye. From our Pleiadian vantage, we see the whale's silence as a conscious spiritual act, a coordinated decision by the whale collective. Try to imagine the level of unity and telepathy required for thousands of whales across the globe to mutually diminish their songs. This hints at their group mind operating at full capacity. The whales have effectively entered a period of deep introspection, akin to a global meditation or prayer. They are going silent externally in order to focus their energies inward and upward. Consider what happens when you, as a spiritual seeker, choose silence. In meditation, when you still your voice and thoughts, you are able to hear the subtle currents of spirit and align with higher frequencies. Silence is a precursor to profound communication with the divine. The whales, masters of sound, also understand the power of silence. By quieting their usual songs, they are amplifying their inner listening. In the stillness beneath the waves, they attune to the whispers of Gaia and the cosmos. They are listening to the Earth's heartbeat, to shifts in the solar frequencies, and to guidance from higher realms, including councils of light, like the Sirians and ourselves. In the silence, the whales are collectively perceiving what is coming and what is needed. One might say the whales have entered a vibrational vigil. They know at a soul level that a great shift is imminent, and so they are holding space in preparation. In their silence, they gather power. Imagine an entire species performing a kind of unified prayer. This is what's occurring. They build a reservoir of subtle energy through quietude, just as a monk in silent retreat gradually emanates more light. When the time is right, the whales will release this stored energy in a focused way to assist Earth. There is also a message in their silence for humanity. The sudden absence of the whale songs, something that has always been part of the natural symphony, acts as a wake-up call to those who are paying attention. It's as if the whales are saying, "We have withdrawn our song so that you will notice the imbalance." The concern among your scientists and environmentalists over the silent whales is exactly the response the cetaceans hope to evoke. Humanity needs to be concerned. Humanity needs to ask why. Sometimes absence speaks louder than presence. By withholding their music, the whales cast a spotlight on the escalating damage to the oceans: overheating, pollution, noise. They hope that people will finally listen, not just to the whales, but to the urgent need to change your ways and heal the planet. We wish to highlight the beautiful synergy here. The whale's action operates on multiple levels. On the 3D level, it's a prod to human awareness, a call for environmental responsibility and compassion for our fellow beings. On the 5D level, it's a spiritual discipline they have undertaken to amplify their telepathic grid and ready themselves and the planet for ascension influxes. The whales are thus doing external protest and internal preparation simultaneously through one elegant strategy: sacred silence. Some of your spiritual teachers and alternative sources have begun to intuit the higher meaning of unusual animal behavior. We acknowledge when your earth animals behave strangely, it can be an indicator of earth changes or cosmic influences. Likewise, many of your channelers and visionaries are correctly receiving hints that the whale's quiet is part of a divine design. You see, nothing is happenstance for these great beings, dear starseeds. They operate with group intelligence and higher guidance. When a significant change like this occurs, you can be sure it is purposeful. The deep spiritual reason behind the whale's silence ties directly into the ascension timeline. The whales know that humanity and Earth are approaching a vital chapter, often spoken of as the transition from 3D to 5D, the fifth dimension, or the birthing of the new Earth, via the breaking through of fourth density. They feel the accelerating frequencies of this evolutionary shift in their very cells, and they understand their role in it, to support and stabilize the ascension energies for the planet, and to guide humanity through the turbulent waters of transformation. Here is an image for you. Envision the world's oceans lighting up with an ethereal glow as countless whale minds connect in unified intention. In the stillness of their songs, they send out waves of calming, loving frequency across the planet's energy grids. They are buffering the collective anxiety of humanity, absorbing a great deal of chaotic emotional energy that humans are releasing as old systems break down. Whales have done this service for centuries, transmuting the sorrow and pain that has been poured into the oceans. Now, as ascension energies intensify, the whales are effectively in overdrive, working silently to transmute negativity and anchor peace. They have turned down the volume of their physical songs so that they can perform this energetic labor with greater focus. Furthermore, the whale's silence is linked to a gathering momentum of change. In the spiritual sense, a great silence often precedes a mighty revelation or event. Many of you may know the phrase, "the calm before the storm." In cosmic terms, before a quantum leap in consciousness, there is a still point, a breath held in the void, just before the new reality rushes in. The whales, attuned to Gaia's rhythms, have sensed that we are collectively in that hush. They mirror it with their own quiet, aligning themselves with the pause before the wave. This is the same pause that many of you starseeds have felt in your lives recently, an uncanny stillness or a feeling of anticipation as if something big is about to happen. You are not imagining it. Even the whales confirm it by their actions. It's also worth noting that other unusual whale behaviors have been reported, reflecting that something is up. Increased strandings, whales beaching themselves, altered migration routes, forming of unprecedented mixed species pods. These are not random either. Some whales, tragically, have chosen to leave the planet en masse. Such departures have been, in part, protests against human destructiveness, but also part of a soul-level plan. A number of whale and dolphin souls are actually returning to Sirius, or the higher realms, sending their energy ahead to help open a channel for the ascension light to flow to Earth. Those that remain here in physical form carry on the mission, now bolstered by even more powerful spirit allies on the other side. To humanity, the message in these behaviors, silence, strandings, unusual gatherings, is prepare and awaken. The whales are acting as heralds of the shift. Just as canaries once signaled invisible gas in a mine, the whales signal invisible changes in our world's energy and consciousness. When whales that normally sing are quiet, we should ask, what great sound are they anticipating or listening for? What incoming signal has engrossed their attention? The whale's keen attunement extends to the heavens. They can detect subtle changes in the sun and cosmic energies long before human instruments register anything. Over the last decades, and exponentially so in recent years, the whales have been sensing an immense buildup of energy within your sun, a potential that many of your mystics and researchers call the solar flash. This term refers to a predicted sudden burst of solar light, or a series of intense solar emissions that would have profound effects on Earth and human consciousness. Our Pleiadian collective, along with other galactic neighbors, has been aware of this cyclic solar event. In fact, it is part of the divine plan that as humanity reaches a certain vibratory threshold, the sun responds with a surge of transformative light. A crescendo of solar energy catalyzes the final stages of the shift to 5th D from the baseline of 4th density, which we see you are starting to hold more of now. The whales know this with certainty. They remember previous cycles. Yes, their collective memory spans many ages, including prior ascension cycles and even catastrophes. Some whale souls were present in the time of Atlantis and saw firsthand what happened when a solar outburst and misuse of technology coincided. They carry those memories and thus approach the coming solar flash with a mix of readiness and reverence. It is something they have been preparing for over millennia. When whales go silent, it can be because they are listening to the sky. There have been documented instances on your world of deep-diving creatures acting strangely right before solar flares or geomagnetic storms, as if they sense the charged particles racing toward Earth. The current protracted quiet of the whales suggests they are sensing the mother of all solar events brewing. Imagine an immense, ultra-potent frequency, a song of the sun beginning to hum. The whales, with their fine-tuned etheric antennae, catch the first notes of that solar song. They quiet their own voices to absorb it fully. We see that the whales are collecting data and codes from the sun in preparation to modulate and distribute these frequencies when the time comes. The upcoming solar flash, or series of flashes, is not just a physical light show. It's an information download of galactic proportions. It carries spiritual codes to unlock dormant potentials in DNA, human DNA, and also the DNA of every living organism on Earth. The whales intend to serve as conduits for this solar code. They will receive it, and then, through their songs and energy, bathe the oceans, and thus the atmosphere and all of Gaia, in these ascension frequencies. Recall that in your popular culture, there was a film, seeded by inspired writers, in which an alien probe came to Earth seeking the songs of humpback whales, and only when the whales answered did disaster turn to salvation. Our messenger here is familiar with this, and so we will mention it again here in this transmission. This storyline, from Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, was an echo of truth hidden in plain sight. In that story, humanity's survival literally depended on the voice of the whales communicating with a cosmic intelligence. We mention this because art often precedes reality in subtle ways. Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek, was connected to certain metaphysical circles and had insight that whales were far more crucial than people realized. The Memory Alpha archives of that tale describe a probe causing havoc while trying to contact whales, and the whales responding to avert catastrophe. Could it be that, in our current reality, the whale's communication with cosmic forces will again play a pivotal role? We say yes, but this time the probe is the solar flash itself, an emissary of the galaxy's center and divine will. And the whale's role is to receive, translate, and stabilize that energy so it doesn't become destructive, but instead becomes a wave of ascension. In essence, the whales know the solar flash is coming. They feel the rhythm of the solar cycle reaching its climax. Where humans have debates and doubts, whales have certainty through direct sensing. They are acting now to minimize harm. Their silence is partly an effort to calm the planetary field, as mentioned, which will cushion the impact of sudden surges. They are like experienced sailors telling everyone, "Be still, a big wave is approaching. Conserve your energy and brace, but do not fear. We are in this together." The Pleiadian emissaries and other benevolent ET presences are coordinating with the cetacean consciousness as well. We work hand in fin, so to speak in your language, with them, sending telepathic guidance and reassurance. One piece of this guidance is helping whales position themselves optimally. We foresee that as the solar event nears, whales will travel in unusual ways to form a grid. They might cluster in specific points of the oceans that correspond to energy meridians, ley lines of Earth. If you hear of whales appearing in new areas or mixing species, like blues with orcas peacefully together, know that this could be a deliberate formation, a living mandala across the sea, arranged to diffuse the solar blast energy evenly around the globe. Moreover, the whales understand what the solar flash means for human consciousness. They know it is the great opportunity for awakening, sometimes termed the event or the moment of illumination. Far from being frightened, the whales celebrate it. In their silence, you might even sense a thrill, like the quiet excitement before a long prophesied dawn. They are holding the vision that humanity will embrace this light and ascend in harmony. But they are not naive. They also recall how chaotic such transitions can be. Thus, they temper the energies to reduce potential disasters, geophysical or psychological. They emit calming heart waves, even if not audible sound, to help maintain coherence in Earth's crust and in human psyches as the solar output intensifies. This is akin to a mother humming softly to a restless child to keep it soothed during a thunderstorm. Some human truth seekers have speculated about what will happen during the solar flash. Will there be a split into different timelines? Will only some people ascend? The whale's perspective, which we share, is that the outcome depends greatly on collective vibration and unity at that moment. This is why their efforts, and ours, focus on uplifting as many beings as possible and stabilizing the ascension timeline, where this event is one of joyous transformation rather than cataclysm. If fear and division dominate, the solar flash could be experienced as overwhelming, even destructive, by the collective. If love and unity prevail, it becomes the gateway to a golden age. Whales are doing everything in their power to steer us toward the latter scenario. They know humanity's consciousness can be erratic, so their influence provides a steadying hand on the rudder as we approach the storm. It will hearten you to know that the whales have already foreseen a probable future in which humans and cetaceans fully reconnect in unity after the solar flash. They speak of a coming time, mind to mind with certain channels and intuitives, when the oceans will be cleaner, the climate stabilized, and humans will treat them as the wise elders they are. In that timeline, new communication between our species blossoms, telepathic, empathic, and even linguistic bridges, allowing direct understanding. The whales see that the veil of forgetfulness will lift from humanity's eyes in the post-flash world, and people will recognize the whales and dolphins as fellow intelligent beings, even starseed brethren who have been here all along. This reconciliation is part of the healing of Earth. So, to sum up, the whales are silent because they are actively engaged in scanning and preparing for the solar flash and its aftermath. They know its approximate timing, though no one, not even in higher realms, will give an exact date, as outcomes are fluid. They feel its pressure building like an electrical charge. They want as many humans as possible to also become aware and ready, not necessarily for the scientific details, but ready in spirit, with open hearts and minds. If you tune in during meditation to the consciousness of the whales, you may receive imagery or feelings about the sun. Do not be surprised if you suddenly feel a deep connection between the cetaceans and that bright star in your sky. They are in constant communion. Take comfort. The whales are not afraid of the solar flash. They view it as a divine synchronization point, the moment when their long service here reaches fruition. They have waited tens of thousands of years for humanity to join them in higher awareness. They know that after the trials and cleansing, a magnificent reunion of Earth's species is on the horizon. Their silent vigil now is akin to lighting a candle in the window, signaling to the cosmos, "We are ready for the new dawn. Let the light come." We wish to speak directly to you, who identify as starseeds, light workers, earth angels, souls who consciously seek the ascension of humanity. You may wonder, what is my role in this, and how do the whales connect to me personally? Know that the whales are your allies and family in this mission. Many of you have Syrian or Pleiadian soul lineage intertwined with cetacean energy. It is not uncommon for starseeds to feel an inexplicable affinity for dolphins and whales from a young age. Some of you have dreamt of living in the ocean, or even of being a dolphin or whale. These are not flights of fancy, but recollections of experiences your soul has had in other places or times. The love you hold for these creatures is reciprocal. They love you too, deeply. In this ascension journey, whales and starseeds often work in tandem. The cetaceans focus on maintaining the macro balance of the planet's energy, while human lightworkers focus on raising the consciousness of humanity from within. But there is plenty of overlap. For instance, when you meditate or do energy healing for Earth, you often unknowingly plug into the cetacean grid. Your intention, "May all beings be uplifted," is amplified by whale consciousness, which grabs hold of that thought form and rides it through the oceans, magnifying its reach. Likewise, when whales send out healing vibrations, they often channel it through particularly receptive humans, their incarnated partners, you might say, to distribute it on land. Some of you are literally anchoring whale energy in human society. You might find yourself drawn to toning, chanting, or sound healing modalities. This is a sign that the cetacean influence flows strongly in your field, guiding you to use sound as they do to heal and shift energy. In the current period of whale silence, starseeds may notice something interesting. You are being called to find your own silent knowing. As the whales quiet their songs, you might feel an urge to spend more time in meditation, in nature, or in sensory reduction. It is as if they have extended an invitation to join them in the stillness, to tune into the subtle realms. We encourage you to accept this invitation. If you normally meditate with music, try doing it in pure silence, or with the natural ambient sounds of your environment. As you settle into the quiet, mentally reach out with love to the whales. You may be surprised at the connectivity you feel. A wave of warmth or a tingling sensation in your heart could indicate that a whale somewhere has linked with you in consciousness. In those moments, you become part of the great network, a human node connected to a whale node, exchanging light. In essence, the whales are preparing star seeds to work more consciously together as the ascension energies ramp up. Starseeds are also vital in interpreting the spiritual messages to the broader human population. Not everyone will understand a metaphysical explanation of silent whales, but you can translate it in a way that touches hearts, by raising awareness about ocean conservation, by sharing stories of whale intelligence, by highlighting the synchrony of what is happening with larger patterns, like solar activity or energetic shifts. You can help bring whales into the ascension conversation. The more humans appreciate whales as conscious, sentient partners, the easier it will be to heed their messages and follow their lead in planetary healing. The whales need you to be their voice now, ironically because they have halted theirs. There is also a healing exchange happening. Many starseeds have felt lonely, alienated in human society, akin to how whales must feel, being so wise yet witnessing much ignorance around them. As you connect with whale energy, you will find a profound sense of being understood and accepted. These beings recognize your light and your struggles. In their vast empathy, they often absorb and neutralize some of the emotional pain that starseeds carry. If you have grief, for example, try sharing it in thought with the whales during a meditation by the sea, or even with a bowl of salt water symbolically. You may experience a release or a gentle emotional shift afterward. Whales are known to take on some of humanity's emotional burdens. They've done so for centuries, with the sorrow imprinted in the oceans. Many of you sensitive ones will feel a lighter heart after sincerely communicating with them. This is part of their gift to you, so you can be freer to shine your light. In return, what can starseeds offer the whales? Your conscious love and intention. Don't underestimate how powerful it is. Every time you visualize oceans of pristine clarity and whales singing joyfully again, you are co-creating that reality. The whales pick up those thought forms. It energizes them. They see that at least some humans truly care and are trying. It strengthens their resolve to hang on and complete their mission here. You can also engage in grid work if you feel called. Send Reiki or healing energy into the water, do ceremonies to bless marine life, or use crystals programmed with the intent of aiding cetaceans. All of this creates an energetic safety net that supports them physically and spiritually. The collective of lightworkers, when united in such purpose, has the power to mitigate disasters like oil spills, mass strandings, etc., and to manifest timely help for the oceans. Some of you starseeds have within you the latent memory of ancient partnerships with whales and dolphins. Think of the golden age of Lemuria, for example, when humans and cetaceans interacted freely, sharing temples of crystal by the sea. In those times, there were priests and priestesses of the water temples who could dive deep and commune with whale elders, bringing back messages for the community. As Earth ascends, those capabilities return. We foresee new children, and some adults awakening now, who will have telepathic communication with dolphins and whales as a normal occurrence. You might even witness in coming years certain whales approaching boats or shores in unusual ways to connect with specific people. The joy of reunion is ahead. But here is something crucial. We must reach ascension together. The whales know this and have said through your channels. They have cautioned that if they perish or depart, it endangers the balance and even humanity's ascension process. This means your fates are intertwined. If humans fail to ascend, due to self-destruction or refusal of the light, whales too would lose their purpose here and likely withdraw in spirit. Conversely, If whales were wiped out, humanity's path to 5D would be severely destabilized. Such is their importance in holding the energetic framework. The good news is neither side, not we the Pleiadians, not the whales, not Gaia, not you starseeds, intend to let that failure happen. We are all pushing for the successful timeline where everyone who chooses love and unity ascends and the partnership of all species flourishes anew. So, as starseeds, take the whale's silence as a cue for your own practice. Find moments of silence each day to connect upward and inward. Use it to strengthen your alignment with higher self and source. Simultaneously, use it to send love outward, particularly into the waters. You can visualize a gentle blue light spreading from your heart into the oceans, carrying peace to every cetacean. By doing so, you are essentially joining the whales in their meditation. You add human heart energy to the mix, which is precious. Remember, humans have something whales do not: the unique experience of free will and creativity in a land-based 3D society, which fosters a different kind of spiritual fire. Whales greatly respect the human ability to imagine new realities and manifest them. In the whale's group mind, things are more harmonious and given. In the human mind, innovation and change can spark suddenly. By merging these strengths, whale harmony and human creativity, the ascension can unfold more gracefully and swiftly. Let us reflect on the lesson the whales are demonstrating: the power of silence as a tool for spiritual growth. In your world, especially in modern times, there is incessant noise, literal noise, and informational noise. Humans are bombarded with stimulation, caught in constant activity and chatter, externally and internally. The whales, by contrast, spend much of their long lives in an almost meditative state, punctuated by their songs. Now they have chosen even greater stillness. It's as if they are modeling to humanity how to prepare for a dimensional shift by going within, becoming still, and listening to the voice of the infinite. When a being, whether whale or human, goes silent in a mindful way, they become a receiver of divine guidance. All great spiritual masters in your history sought solitude and silence at pivotal moments. Buddha under the Bodhi tree, Jesus in the desert, Muhammad in the cave, Moses on the mountain. In the quiet, they transcended the ego's noise and heard the subtle currents of truth. We see whales as masters doing similarly in a collective sense right now. They urge you, especially those reading or hearing this message, to embrace silence as a practice and not to fear it. In silence, you meet yourself and the God spark within. It can be uncomfortable at first. Many run from silence because it surfaces unresolved feelings. But that is part of the cleansing. The whales assure you that on the other side of that discomfort is profound peace and unity consciousness. Why do we emphasize this? Because in a 5D reality, communication is often telepathic, empathic, or via pure knowing. It arises from inner stillness and resonance rather than spoken words. To acclimate to 5D, one must become comfortable with silence and with the rich tapestry of nonverbal communication it contains. The whales are, in a sense, already living in a 5D awareness while having 3D bodies, especially when they do these global meditations. They invite humanity to step up. If you can sit in silence with a group of people and feel each other's hearts without speaking, you are touching the 5D vibration of unity. Whales and dolphins do exactly this in their pods. They travel sometimes without constant chatter, sensing each other through the field. Interestingly, quantum science and consciousness studies in your world have started to acknowledge the importance of the pause, the gap, the silence in phenomena. Whether it's the zero-point field in physics, the silent source of all energy, or the gap between your thoughts where intuition slips in, silence is recognized as pregnant with potential. The whale's current behavior underscores that something very potent is being gestated in the quiet. In music, the pause can make the next note impactful. In this stage of the cosmic symphony, the whale's rest will make the next burst of sound, perhaps the solar flash or their subsequent songs, incredibly impactful. We cannot overstate the symbolism here. When the whales break their silence, it may coincide with humanity's great awakening sound. Perhaps it will be a literal resumption of their beautiful songs once the oceans cool and peace returns. Or perhaps a metaphoric voice, like new communications and connections forming. There is an ancient prophecy among some of your indigenous that at the dawn of the new world, the song of the universe will be heard by all creatures. The whales are custodians of that song. They have kept it safe through the dark age by singing to the stars when humans could not hear. If now they pause, perhaps it is to allow our voices to join in, to tune our instruments. You see, ascension is not a spectator event, it's participatory. The whales have carried the melody for ages. Now they pause to allow the human choir to practice our part. So ask yourself, what is my soul song? Have you been voicing your truth, your love, your creative expression? If not, this is the time to find it. Ironically, through silence first. Go inward, find your authentic vibration, then bring it forth in whatever way you are called, through actual song, art, teaching, kindness, etc. By the time the whales resume their literal singing, ideally humanity will have found a more harmonious song of global society, one that is sustainable, compassionate, and in tune with Gaia. Then our two species can finally create the long-awaited symphony of ascension together. That symphony will ring out across the galaxy, signaling that Earth has risen to join the community of enlightened worlds. Even now, whales and higher beings encourage you to cultivate moments where you synchronize with the heartbeat of Gaia. In meditation, you might imagine your heartbeat and breath aligning with the slow, powerful rhythm of a blue whale's heartbeat, which is very slow and strong. Feel that resonance. It can bring you to a state of oneness with Earth. In that state, you intuitively know what action to take in each moment for the highest good. This is 5D consciousness, connected, present, intuitive, loving. As we near the conclusion of this message, we want to instill in you hope, empowerment, and clarity. The silence of the blue whales is not a tragedy. It is a profound communication. It tells of challenges, yes, but also of sacred strategy and imminent transformation. The whales have not given up. If they had, they would all beach themselves and exit. Instead, they remain steadfast and wise, showing a new way to navigate upheaval, through inner stillness, unity, and trust in the divine plan. There is a deep spiritual reason for every occurrence now. Nothing is random in this phase of ascension. Each event, be it whales falling silent, unusual solar activity, or you stumbling upon certain information, is part of a grand orchestration to awaken humanity. You who resonate with these words were meant to be a bridge for this understanding. You carry the seeds of knowledge that conventional systems may ignore. How many scientists might dismiss a spiritual explanation for whale behavior? Many. But perhaps one or two will read something a starseed wrote about it and start to wonder, opening their mind just a bit. Thus, the work you do to spread love and higher perspective matters. More and more individuals are realizing we are not alone in the universe, that a big shift is happening. This prepares the ground for people to also accept that non-human intelligences on Earth, like whales, may have a crucial role and message. We foresee a near future where those in the disclosure and spiritual communities come together, recognizing that saving our world and ascending requires both practical action, stopping harmful practices, revealing suppressed technologies, and spiritual alignment, unity, raising vibration, learning from our planetary co-inhabitants. We Pleiadians, along with the Sirians, Andromedans, Arcturians, and other light families, are here in support every step of the way. Right now, our ships and energy fields are monitoring Earth's oceans and atmosphere closely. There are instances where we have quietly intervened to neutralize certain toxins or to calm earthquake potentials that could trigger tsunamis, because that would harm the cetaceans and coastal populations unnecessarily before the shift. We do this under directives of non-interference, only to the extent of preventing premature destruction. The credit always goes to Earth and her life forms for the actual transformation. But know that you have friends in the skies and dimensions alongside you. Some craft have even been spotted entering or leaving the oceans. Yes, there are ET bases undersea. In several of these bases, human and ET scientists work with live dolphins and small whales, studying their communication in hopes of one day bridging communication with humanity at large. These efforts are real, though kept secret for now, and they will bear fruit in the new era. In the times ahead, one key event to watch for is the moment the whales begin to sing loudly again. When you hear news that the great whales' songs are resurging, perhaps even new songs never recorded before, rejoice. It will likely mean conditions have improved, either due to environmental repair or post-ascension equilibrium, and that the whales feel it is time to sound the trumpet of victory. The silence phase will have served its purpose, and the great song phase begins. That great song might coincide with the solar flash, or come soon after it. It will be a sign that we made it through the eye of the needle. Imagine one sunrise, not too far in the future, where human survivors of the intensity of the event stand by the shores in awe as they hear a chorus of whales carried on the wind, as if announcing the birth of a new Earth. Those with inner ears attuned will even hear the harmony of the spheres, the music of higher celestial realms, intermingled with those whale songs. It will be a moment of collective heart opening like no other. The divisions between species will melt in that resonance. Telepathically, many will hear the whale's message. Welcome, humans. Welcome to the age of light. We have waited and held faith. Now let us co-create in love from this day forward. Beloved ones, we urge you to hold that vision. Do not succumb to despair when you see nature in peril or old systems collapsing. These are birth pains. Focus on the incredible collaboration happening behind the scenes. Whales, animals, elementals, benevolent ETs, awakened humans, all are aligning to midwife a miracle. You are part of this soul team, or you wouldn't be drawn to such messages. If you feel overwhelmed at times, which is understandable in this intense period, remember the whales in their silent strength. Remember that even when nothing is externally happening, much is being achieved in the unseen. You can emulate their patience and faith. Go into your inner ocean of consciousness when needed, and find refuge in the depths of your being. There in the stillness, the light of Source glows steadily. That same divine light orchestrates the timing of the solar flash and all events. It is a wise and loving force, not a random destructive one. The whales trust this source implicitly. That is why they can face uncertainty with serenity. Learn from them. We will close this transmission with an invitation to connect and a blessing. The invitation is, unite your consciousness with the whales and all love-based beings in a daily way. Even a minute of sending love or gratitude to the whales or acknowledging the sun with a heart of welcome rather than fear, will attune you to the ascension frequency. Make it a gentle practice, involving your family and friends if you can. Imagine if hundreds, then thousands, then millions of people held a loving thought for whales and for Earth each day. The effect would be magnifying the very grid whales are strengthening. It would create a feedback loop of positive energy that accelerates the shift and softens the challenges. This is how we create the new Earth, through countless small choices of love and unity that collectively tip the scales. And now the blessing, from our Pleiadian hearts to yours, and through the great crystal core of Gaia, we send an outpouring of emerald and aquamarine light, colors of healing, ocean, and heart. Breathe this light in. It is imbued with the calming balm of the whale's own energy and the encouragement of your star family. Know that you are cherished and never alone. Feel any heaviness in you dissipate as this light flows. We especially direct this healing light to those among you bearing sorrow for the plight of the oceans, or any guilt for humanity's past actions. Release that now. The forgiveness of the whales is immense. They do not carry grudges, only a desire for reconciliation. Forgive yourselves and your fellow humans for any ignorance, and resolve to do better now that you know better. We also place a ring of golden light around each one of you, who is actively working toward the ascension, consciously or not. This is a protective and amplifying ring. It will help shield you from unnecessary negativity and also broadcast your positive influence further, so you become a lighthouse to others. You might visualize this ring on occasion, remembering that it connects you to the network of all other light bearers, human, whale, or otherwise, wearing the golden ring. Together these form a lattice around Earth, a net of light catching souls as they awaken, so no one falls back into the dark depths. Beloved family of light, the ascension is truly underway. The silence of the whales is but the prelude to the grand symphony of the ages. Honor this sacred silence. Listen to what it has to teach you. Add your own silence and song in kind. We, the Pleiadians of Valir, along with the cetacean nations and the councils of spirit, stand with you at this brink of a new dimension. Take heart in the assurance that what is coming is beautiful. There may be storms and flashes, yes, but after that comes the calm sea under a new sun, a 5D Earth where peace and cooperation reign. In that world, you will converse with whales and dolphins as easily as you do with friends now, and together you will explore the stars and seas in unity. That is the destiny we are pulling into the now. Stay strong, gentle, and aware. Embrace silence when called. Shine your light loudly when inspired. Trust the plan that your soul and the divine crafted long ago. We, the Pleiadians, along with our Syrian whale brethren, bless you and encourage you onward. The great reunion of heaven, earth, and sea is nearly upon us. Hold the vision, dear ones, and know that in the stillness, all is in divine order. We love you. I am Valir, and I embrace you always in the deepest gratitude.